Right. So that's the single fixed pulley. Now there's another type of pulley. Mind you, I have changed the spelling over there. I missed the E when I did the first part. You can change the way in which the pulley is set up in another manner, which is like this. Okay, so let's examine this situation. Of course, assume that these lines are straight. They kind of become squiggly because of the drawing. So they are straight lines, they have full tension, and again the situation is that of static equilibrium. Sigma f is equal to 0. Now the weight of the object pulls it in this direction. So therefore use the principles that I gave over here to also answer for this. So how will I complete the diagram? So all I can say is that the question is, this person applies an effort in this direction, correct? I want you to tell me how much is that effort. So that's what you have to we have to work towards. So let's have a quick discussion on this. So there is I'll explain the situation again. So it's like this, there is a pulley over here, the rope comes down, it goes through that, which means that if you pull the rope, of course, the pulley itself will move up and down. So that is why it's called as a movable pulley, single movable pulley. And situation is of a static equilibrium, nothing is moving, but this object, which has a weight of mg, is suspended in midair. The person obviously has to apply an effort. Now the question is, how do you find out what that effort is? So any contributions are welcome.
Shouldn't I
half mg.
half? Yeah, exactly.
So you are saying the effort is equal to half mg. So can you just walk us through why it has to be half mg?
So what I'm guessing is that
Go ahead.
the effort is equal to the tension there, right? Then
The
there's two
effort that he is applying has to be equal to the tension over
I
here.
mean,
Okay.
those,
Yeah. Sorry, your voice was breaking up. I couldn't catch everything. Can you start again?
but then there's one more.
There is one more tension. Where?
The first string will have tension as well.
Yeah, there has to be some tension in the first rope also. So there is this rope which is attached to the rigid support. Naturally, if there is a weight applying over here, there has to be tension in both the ropes. Okay, agreed.
The second pulley is only acting to change the direction of the force.
So, okay, so you realize that the second pulley, that is, I suppose you mean this pulley, that's only changing the direction. Okay. So therefore, you can say that E is equal to, let us make it a little more clearer. We can write this as T1 and we can write this as T2. So you can say that E is equal to T2. Fine. Then?
And T1 plus T2 is equals to mg.
Okay. So we can also say over here that T1 plus T2 is equal to mg. Yeah, because these two are balancing this. So therefore, it follows from sigma f is equal to 0. Right? Then?
So then, and then since it's the same length, the tension, the ropes, T1 has to be equal to.
What has the lengths of the rope to do with the tension?
I'm guessing. I mean, I think T1 should equal to T2.
What if I make it like this? Does that make any difference?
No.
T1, what you're saying is T1 should be equal to T2, but you'll have to explain why.
Are parallel to the
Yeah. Okay. So
Abhi, you can continue.
so yeah, so since both of them are parallel, the weight is equally distributed so that not one part of the weight like concentrates more on one string. That's how I think of it.
Yeah, so okay, that could be one argument, that since both ropes are parallel to one another, then when you hang something by those two ropes, naturally the tension in T1 and T2, they being vectors, would add up to be equal to mg. And since they are acting straight upwards, T1 plus T2, T1 has to be equal to T2, and therefore T1 has to be equal to T2, therefore T1 is equal to T2 is equal to 1 by 2 mg. Okay, and then finally, since E is equal to T2, therefore the effort should be equal to half of mg. So from this you get that. Okay, so that means the effort that is being applied by this person is only equal to 1 by 2 mg. That means he is only applying half of the weight of this object as the counter force over here, and that of course means that there is an significant mechanical advantage. And that should also be obvious that the weight has to be the effort that he applies has to be only half, because one part of it is being supported by the ceiling. So for those who are saying, well, if he's only applying half mg, where's the other half of mg coming from for this to be equal? The other half is over here, and that is being supported by the ceiling. Okay, so that is how it provides a mechanical advantage. So we can say that the mechanical advantage in this case, so this is for this case, and in this case it will be again load upon effort. The load is mg, but the effort is only 1 by 2 mg. So therefore the mechanical advantage is equal to 2. So that means that in an ideal scenario, and I'll tell you a little bit about what is the ideal scenario. The ideal scenario means the pulleys that we are talking about now, theoretically, they do not have any friction. So you don't have to overcome friction when you pull it. Second thing is the pulleys themselves are massless. So this pulley does not have any weight. How can you make a massless pulley? You can if you are just theorizing about it. And the third thing is that the ropes are neither flexible, that means they are rigid ropes, they do not extend, which of course cannot be a fact. Any rope will extend a little bit, and the rope themselves are massless. Okay, because otherwise what will happen is the weight of the rope will have to be taken into consideration when you are pulling, the weight of the pulley will have to be taken into consideration, and the frictional values also will have to be taken into consideration. So that's the idealization that we have to work with. So in an ideal situation, if you have a single movable pulley, which you can then fix to a fixed pulley in order to just change the direction. You can imagine if you remove this pulley and have this person pulling the rope up directly, the situation would be exactly the same. and you would get a mechanical advantage of 2. That means whatever you apply in terms of effort, that can be doubled at the load side. So that is how a single movable pulley works. So this situation is what we call as a single movable pulley. Okay, so I hope that's clear. When we meet again for the next class, we will talk about using multiple pulleys in this manner. So you can put more and more of these movable pulleys and keep increasing the mechanical advantage of a machine, of the pulley machine, of a pulley system, and what that kind of a system is called and how we can do it in a compact manner. All that we'll discuss in the next class.